Oh man, they gave him Rebel Heart. They gave him Rebel Heart back. I still am trying to get over that because that is the one thing I told myself I would not be hearing last night. I told myself, okay, you have a 50% chance that the DIY music might come. But no way was I expecting Rebel Heart. Like I thought to myself, okay, this one has completely been taken away at this point, because of WWE's relationship with CFO. We're diminishing things, getting rid of themes as we go slowly but surely. I in no way, shape, or form expected that. And honestly, if you want to talk about the moment of the night, I'm sorry, it wasn't a wrestling move. It wasn't a pop during a match. It was Johnny Gargano coming out with his Rebel Heart music. That made my freaking night. Let's see what we can do about this show, however. What's going on, everyone? Your boy here, Apollo from Down, Down, Up, Up. And of course, we're going through NXT War Games. No takeover, but War Games. Almost sort of felt like the end of an era. It really did, just because of who potentially leaves after this show. And we may see them one more time on this coming NXT. I know we're going to be seeing Gargano because after the show, he did talk to the fans and say you'll be hearing more from me Tuesday. So it makes you wonder, is this a work? He has trolled us before that he was going to leave and ended up not, but this one feels so much more real. Whether he leaves permanently or takes some serious time off because of his baby coming. Kyle O'Reilly, on the other hand, I don't think he's going to be staying. Kyle leaving is going to feel like a big deal in a couple of months when you look at the show and see who is and isn't on there. But ooh, yeah, we'll see. This was the end of an era for me, honestly. Let's go down the card though. So no kickoff match. That was kind of weird in my opinion, but at the same time, maybe they needed more time to set up the War Games cage. But when we got to the main show, what did we do? We kicked off immediately with War Games, the Women's War Games, which I believe has had 3 years in a row opening the card. And this one, it was okay. I don't want to put it down. This, in my opinion, was the weakest War Games match we have had so far, and that really doesn't have much to do with the competition. It's just the story revolving around one of them, and lack of destruction, so to speak. So, of course, let's run it down one more time. We had Toxic Attraction made up of Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Dakota Kai, taking on Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez, Cora Jade, and Kaylee Ray. We had Dakota Kai and Kaylee Ray starting. I thought that was a great choice. Kaylee Ray's throwing a bat in there, about to go nuts. And of course, who's nuts on teaming up with Toxic Attraction? It's crazed out Dakota Kai at the moment. So, good choices. The cages were in a very weird place. I didn't think we'd be switching buildings for this show, but the cages were directly in front of the hard camera on the other side of the cage. Like, really? Not by the entrance ramp? If there wasn't enough room, I kind of understand, but that was just a very strange place for the setup, going through the crowd and whatnot. Didn't bother me, but it was just very strange placement. Either way, slowly but surely, we got our dominance established from both teams, and the good weapons came in one by one: garbage cans, kendo sticks, steel chairs, the bat. But I want to say that was it. They did some good stuff with the garbage can, but one thing that really peeved me, a duffel bag was thrown in at one point. Is it just me? You guys let me know. I didn't see anything else used. Nothing. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's in the duffel bag? Maybe handcuffs, maybe a chain, maybe thumbtacks. That's going too far, but I was curious what was in there, and apparently nothing. Maybe I missed it. I'll be honest, we're not perfect, but I didn't see anything used. So if any of you guys saw anything used from that duffel bag, please let me know. I did not. And the finish, oh boy, well, it took a bit to get there, and it was a surprise, but I guess in a good way. So earlier in the match, Cora Jade's arm got messed up. She hit a gorgeous swanton through a table, but messed her arm up. The medical personnel wanted to check her but Io wouldn't let her leave, and she, I guess, attempted to pop her shoulder back in, which didn't really do much at the time. And then Toxic Attraction plus Kai really got the advantage once things got underway. And then they were about to kill Cora. Cora puts up a little bit of fight with the stick. And then all hell breaks loose when everyone starts pulling out the finishers and whatnot. But then randomly, everyone's down. Cora Jade is the first one to sort of come to. And she pins Chasey J in and wins it for her team. Like, she just crawls over, pins her. Someone was holding down Mandy, who was trying to break it up, and that was it. That was a strange finish. Not gonna lie, I didn't see it coming. I was happy the right team won. But what a weird choice to get there. But I guess keep your eyes out on Cora Jade, because clearly management has interest in her, but they really didn't make her look like a big deal the way they could have to get her this win. I was thinking she might get the pin. Okay, let's give one to the noob, because it's not like we're doing anything for Toxic Attraction in this, but that was a weird way to go. Anyway, faces win that War Games. Moving on to, I gotta give credit, match of the night for me. I know this might sound like a surprise, but the way the next match was choreographed was 10 out of 10. I loved it. NXT Tag Team Championship match. Imperium versus Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner. This one was a bit hard to predict, and even more hard to picture on this show. I keep wanting to say TakeOver so bad, but it wasn't TakeOver. Gotta keep telling myself that. But it was fantastic. The teases during this match were on point, with O'Reilly locking in multiple submissions and looking like he had Imperium beat several times. Imperium getting some A-grade counters, some amazing dives over the top rope. This was great, and I didn't expect this to be on point as it did. Not that I don't have faith in 3 of the 4 guys in this to begin with, but I didn't think this was going to get choreographed better. It freaking was. And the finish was so awesome, too. O'Reilly's got a triangle choke locked in, looking like he might just have Eichner beat, but Eichner just powers him up, tags in Barcel, and there's that Imperium bomb. 1, 2, 3. Still, your NXT Tag Team Champions, Imperium. So happy they got, in my opinion, it was a definitive win. Definitive win for Imperium here. And after was a surprise, too, because we were all thinking, okay, if Von Wagner didn't turn during the match and Imperium have retained, surely something's going to happen after. It's been teased that Von Wagner is going to be Adam Pearce's new bodyguard on SmackDown. We'll see if that plays out or not. Then Von Wagner's given O'Reilly the dirty look. He's about to attack him, but O'Reilly sees it coming, gives him a few kicks, whips him out, and basically have some of that. Not putting up with that crap. They even had him interviewed later saying that turn was so predictable, etc., etc. It was nice to see O'Reilly come out of this not looking so much like a bitch. Like, good stuff, NXT. I do appreciate that. I'm going to miss Kyle. I don't need to see him look like a loser. The only downside is, most likely, they are going to have a blow-off match. I do believe we're going to see Kyle one more time as well, and they'll probably give it to Von Wagner. But if it's good, then I'm not going to complain. Let's keep going, though. Hair versus hair match. Cameron Grimes, Duke Hudson. I don't want to say piss break match, but it wasn't too much of anything, to be honest. Duke Hudson still really doesn't impress me that much. And Cameron Grimes losing this really wouldn't have worked to anyone's advantage. So I'm really glad, even though he won with a roll-up and the tights, weird choice, he won. That's the main point. Cameron Grimes won, and with a little bit of cave-in for the assistants, he got Duke Hudson in a chair, got to working on the hair, and we'll see what happens with his new look next week. I would think. Either next week or the week after. And then the Cruiserweight Championship match. This actually regained some of my faith. I'm going to be honest, because I went with Gacy on this, and I really didn't have much of a problem with Gacy winning this and the title being changed just because of how little it was being used. But it still hurt my principles thinking like, the Roderick Strong has to put up with this, eh? But no, after a little back and forth and some weak interference on the outside, Gacy sort of let himself be distracted, and then Roddy got his knee, and end of heartache, and Roderick Strong basically won clean to keep the Cruiserweight Championship. I didn't see that coming, and in the long run, I'm really happy that he got this win, because at least it's on a bigger show, and Diamond Mine get elevated from it. I don't know if there are still plans to get rid of this championship, but right now, as long as it's around Roderick's waist, I'm not gonna complain. Nice little match. It doesn't seem like Gacy's character is gonna be getting off the ground anytime soon. Then, as big as a deal as they are making it, I'm not buying it. Not if he couldn't get this win. But good on Roderick Strong, good on Diamond Mine. I was worried about this one, which is why I went with Gacy. Didn't pay off. And speaking of didn't pay off, main event. Main event was a heartbreaker. As I said, Gargano coming out to Rebel Heart really sparked something in me I haven't felt in months with this new NXT. But after all that, I can say this War Games was okay. This one did a good enough job being where it was. Gargano and Mello started out, and bringing people in bit by bit was interesting. One thing that grabbed me, I'm thinking, why aren't they bringing weapons into this? But then I realized Trick Williams is outside. He's going to take care of most of this, including garbage cans, chairs, sticks, and tables. Many tables. And then as he looks under the ring for more, I'm thinking, are we going to get any ladders? He's startled, and Dexter Lumis comes back. It was good to see him not on the shelf for too freaking long. He scares away Williams, gives the thumbs up to Gargano, and then once we get started, man, these four really put in the work. And I'll admit, I was worried when the originals were getting so much of the offense, including the first table spot, I believe. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, LA Knight. LA Knight was ridiculous in this for some of the time. He freaking goes Shelton Benjamin running up the ropes to suplex, I want to say, Waller through a table. Mental that was. Until finally, I gotta give credit, Waller is an annoying little prick. He took a lot of a beating in that one, though, and hit a 10 out of 10 elbow off the cage through a table. I don't remember on who. I think it might have been Knight, but still. I'll give Waller credit where credit is due. He did belong in this match. He worked pretty darn well. And the same can be said for Tony. Tony was good enough in this. He even found a crowbar he must have hit earlier and had some fun with that. And then we finally get to the bread and butter. DIYs doing their thing, and nothing made me happier than seeing them hit their special. Both of them go for the pin on, I think it was Breaker. If it wasn't, correct me. But Hayes pulls the referee. He gives him that look like, no, not this time. And, oh, man, they almost had him. Almost had him, but Gargano gets low blowed. Dunn and Knight were taken out at this point. Ciampa has Mello up with a table in the corner, but Breaker spears Ciampa through the table, hits that pop-up power slam. 1, 2, 3, he pins the NXT champion and wins it for 2.0. I can't say I'm surprised. In the long run, this is right for the people who are staying in NXT for now. I'm just not sure how long NXT is going to be around. That's the thing. But it was good. I love the table spots. And again, in the long run, the right team won. But oh man. Again, what made my night? Gargano coming out to Rebel Hard. Like I said, this really felt like the end of an era for me. And I have no regrets. If this is the last big NXT special, I had fun with NXT while I was into it. My friends know, I know, there's never going to be anything like that in WWE again. And at this point, if NXT UK is still doing what it's doing, maybe I'm going to be throwing my eyes over there more often. We'll see. There's still enough wrestling as it is. We'll see how things go. But yeah, I'd say that just about does it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you saw the show, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of it. And if you didn't, I would recommend checking out the highlights from the War Games, the men's War Games. And if you have time for a full match, Tag Team Championship match. It's a fun little time, and I don't think you'll be too disappointed with it. Have a great day. We'll see you later. I'm pretty sure more Christmas reviews coming out either today or tomorrow and keeping the ball moving. And that's about all I can think of. Have a good one, my boys and girls. Keep it real. And the video didn't end like I wanted, but that's okay. We'll see you later.